Bleach 1000-Year Blood War, episode 8 of the animation. So we pick up after the Quincy's severely defeated the Soul Society. From the onset, we can see that the guys are picking up the rubble. We've got some of the soldiers saying, let's attend to the injured and let's leave, those that are dead. We can always recover the bodies anyway. Then we get to see Isane having a conversation with Captain Unohana. Isane is feeling guilty that they should have participated in the war instead of hiding behind, the barracks. We get to see her cry, and then Captain Unohana says, Isane, don't let your feelings control you, right? Because, we were given a direct order by the head captain to stay behind. And that is actually strategic. It's not, verbally explained or explicitly explained, but you get the same sentiment. These guys specialize in medicine. So it's very essential that they stay behind and, heal all the wounded people from the war, because if they were involved in the war themselves, the extinction of the Soul Society could have severely went up. And then, man, we get this sobering shot of Sunshi, right? He's standing in the rain, looking down at the big hole where Captain Yama was essentially killed off, right? And this was such an emblematic scene for me because it goes to not only depict how powerful the blow that took out Old Man Yama was, but also the hole that symbolically left in the Soul Society. And also, for those that read the manga, the shoes that Sunshi himself must actually fill in the coming saga. Then we see Ichigo with Hirako, which is our next scene, basically going over an update about how they got a report that his friends are fine, and then here comes Ikaku, dude, screaming that there's no way that Kenpachi actually lost, and he did lose severely, right? I wish I could have just seen that engagement with Kenpachi and that head Quincy, right? But yeah, for Kenpachi, I wonder how he's actually gonna grow and take this, because from the previous episodes, we've seen that Kenpachi doesn't take loss so well, right? I wanna see how he's going to get stronger and bounce back from this. Then one of the nurses comes out, and says that Rukia and Renji are in stable condition, right? So we go into the trauma room, and then fortunately Rukia's up, she can even talk, and him and Hirako thank Ichigo for helping them, right? And Ichigo's like, I really didn't do much, but Hirako says, dude, you drove the head Quincy away. But Hirako is losing that additional context. I wouldn't say that Ichigo drove him away. It's just more that they spared him, if we're actually honest, right? And that Ichigo obviously has blood ties to the Quincy's, right? Which is something that Rukia now instinctively picks up by knowing Ichigo, right? Essentially, another soldier comes in and says, Ichigo, there's news about your Zanpakuto, where Ichigo needs to now rush to Captain Miyori's lab, right? But as Ichigo's running out, Rukia says it to Hirako that, there's this painful look that Ichigo has on his face. I don't know what it is, but, something is definitely off. And it is that Ichigo found out that his mother was a Quincy, and that he's got Quincy blood ties. Oh man, then we get to see this scene of our captains together. They're basically going over a report of what happened. We see fragments of Old Man Yama's Zanpakuto. They've put it on a table, look clean and nice, just in shambles. And then, they're explaining that they couldn't even find his remains, dude. That Quincy essentially evaporated Old Man Yama. Then this soldier comes in, gives a report to say that fortunately Kenpachi and Kuchiki are in, they've survived, but they are in bad conditions and they won't be in a position to take over their captain duties anytime. Then Suifon loses it. She straight up loses to say that, can't you see that we're mourning the loss of our head captain? You are coming on here piling up. Then essentially Sajin and this other captain, they, get into an argument with Suifon to say, dude, don't let your emotions get a hold of you. We're all grieving here, right? You're not the only one who's affected by this. But then soon she comes in, dude. He says, guys, please, let's not quarrel amongst each other. Let's not fight. If the old man was here, he would smack the hell out of each of us, right? Which is true, if you know the character of Old Man Yama, and that the 13 Code Guard squad is not there to cry and mourn the Soul Society. We are supposed to protect it, right? And it's true, this is the time to show strength and protect the Soul Society. So I'm actually keen on seeing what's happening. I believe that Sunshi is the one that's going to take over the leadership position. But yeah, to see this transpire, man, quite exciting, I will say. Ichigo then arrives at Miyori's office and we see them having a discussion together. Then Ichigo asks Miyori if he will be able to fix his Zanpakuto, similar to how he fixes it, right? Then Miyori says, no, I don't fix mine, I modify it, right? And I would actually like to get a better explanation of how he does that, because I believe in the previous animation we've seen Miyori repair his Zanpakuto, but he explains that the Shikai version can be fixed with your spiritual pressure, but your Bankai, once it's destroyed, it's all dead and gone, right? So I wonder if now that means that Ichigo's gonna have to get a new version of his Bankai, similar to the other captains, because their Bankais went destroyed, they were just taken away from them. So the journey for them to rediscover and get their Bankais back, I'm actually keen on seeing how it transpires. While they were in Miyori's office, he invites Ichigo to go join him because the Zero Squad is coming up, right? This is the first time we get a mention of this squad. Quite interesting. Then we move on to our next scene where we see the captains waiting for the arrival of this Zero Squad. They arrive in this column, dude, hits the ground. It's called the Tenchurin, if I'm not mistaken, right? It's the vehicle they use to travel. Then Sunshi explains to them that it consists of 5 members, and all of these 5 guys combined are more powerful than the 13 Code Guard squad, right? Which, increases the law. But dude, that's about it. For me, as soon as those guys popped up, I'm like, what the hell is going on here, right? But Ichigo's written to, depict our reaction as well. It was so overwhelming. I mean, these guys look lazy as hell. Their designs don't look all that menacing. So yeah, I wonder if they're that strong. Then Sunshi gets to the business, dude. He asks them, guys, why are you here? And then there's this bald guy with a beard. One of the members of the Zero Squad explains that at the request of the king, we've been sent out to, rebuild the Soul Society. We want Ichigo, Renji, Rukia, and Kuchiki, right? And then Soifon loses it again. She goes off on that to say that, guys, we've been engaged in a war. We were losing. You saw us. Why are you waiting for us to lose and then come in? You could have intervened, during the fight, which is something I agree with. I tend to agree with. It's not like these guys didn't know that there was an all-out war happening, right? Why are you coming at the end and being reactive instead of proactive, right? Like they say, prevention is better than cure. And from the interaction of some of the captains with these zero division, members, it seems like they've got history, right? We get to see Miyori engage with, Miyori engage with one of those members in later on in the episode. We also get to see Unohana also engage with this other guy. Seems that he's the one that taught her, her healing capabilities. So I hope we get some background as well on, those relationships, how they form. Soifon then tries to do, I don't know what she was trying to do. Was she trying to go on the attack or what, right? But then this other member of the Zero Division dude quickly moves and catches her hand. Yo, that guy is so quick, dude. Soifon is from, she's familiar with the Flash Step, right? As a ninja division, right? The assassin division. But it seemed like that guy moved faster than her. She wasn't even familiar with what she did. So sort of like a display of the power of these Zero Division members. Then we get to see that, one of the members who has a relationship or some past experience with Miyori now went to fetch Kuchiki, Ruki, as well as Renji, and the guys are ready to go into the royal palace now. And then out of nowhere, out of Kone's head, we get to now see Kisuke, the master puppeteer, right, to give Ichigo some feedback that Chad and Orihime are safe. And then out of nowhere, dog, we get to see somebody speak and show up a bit in the background. Looks like Granger or Jagger Jack. So it looks like he survived the battle in Boekomundo. Ichigo's surprise is like, is that really him? So I wonder if he's going to get a storyline late in the episode. It would be quite interesting to see, Grinjao get into the episode. So the guys get into the Tenchuron and they shoot up into the palace because, Kisuke indirectly influenced Ichigo to agree to go, to get stronger, get his Bankai back and protect all of them, against this invasion of the Quincy's. So we get to the palace and I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit underwhelmed. The first thing we see there, I get a bit of a vibe of Boekomundo, when we got to see Aizen's palace. So there we've got at the top, we've got the sun of that place. We also have the castle where the Soul King resides. And then we get to see these 5 islands floating on the same level. So each island, it's a castle for each of the members, right? But there's also like communities there. You will get to see some buildings. So I assume there's also people living there. So I wonder what kind of people get to live in the royal palace. Is it like royalty people? Why is there a difference between those people living there and the other people living in the Soul Society? So this is the place that Aizen always wanted to get into, right? And then it gets revealed to us that the Oaken, the key that Aizen wanted to make, is essentially the bones. So he wanted to create members of the Zero Division, because the only way to get into, the Royal Palace is either by using the bones of the Zero Division members or coming in with them. So now Ichigo is going to visit one of the islands. That's where the guys are going to get healing. We get to see them in this fountain, man. And I mean, it's so awkward, that scene. Even Ichigo's reaction, the way they wrote it, it's deliberate, right? That the healing process is going to be done in a joking manner. We see them in this fountain, and Kuchiki even gets thrown into a blood fountain, where apparently he's going to have some of his spiritual pressure fixed. Some of his blood is going to get flushed out, and it's going to get filled back with the blood of, the blood fountain, I guess, right? Well, I on my side, I wish they could have written actually that interaction, that scene, in a much more, serious way, but it is what it is. Let's have some fun. We just had, a very serious and tension-like 2 episodes. So yeah, we needed this breather and we needed some jokes, I assume. Then we finally get the reveal of the first member of the Zero Division members who specializes in healing, which is Tenjiro Kirinji, the hot spring demon. That's his name, yeah. Tenjiro. I'm going to leave it there, the hot spring demon. So it seems he's the one that specializes with healing and is going to help our protagonist bounce back. And then the post-credit scenes comes up, and then we get to see the first look at the Soul King. Dude has some big ass eyes. But yeah, that's it for the episode. Cool episode, a great breather. Looking forward to the next episode. And that's it for the review, guys. If you liked the video, please obviously leave a thumbs up, leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you liked about the episode. Let me know what I missed. Let me know what you think is going to happen. And if you enjoy the content, consider subscribing. Thanks, guys. Check you guys next time.